Today we're going to be learning how to multiply decimals by decimals, specifically tenths by tenths. So let's just remind ourselves how we do that. So the first thing we're going to do, you just multiply normally. So say we have the following problem. 3.1 times 4.2. So just as if we didn't have the decimals right here and here, we're going to start in the ones, or in this case, it's the tenths place value, and you multiply normally. So you do 1 times 2 is 2, 3 times 2 is 6, add our placeholder, and so on. So you're always going to just multiply normally, starting at the the smallest place value. So in this case, it's tenths and tenths. That's the first step. The second step, you're going to solve for all partial products, which is what we're doing. So if we're going to find that second partial product, we do 1 times 4 is 4. 4 times 3 is 12. And then step 3, add our partial products. We've got a 2. 6 plus 4 is 10. Carry the 1. 1 plus 2 is 3. And then 1. We have our larger product. And then our fourth step is we're going to add the decimal place value. Remember, to do that, we're going to count how many place values it is over in the original problem. We've got 1 place value, 2 place values, so we're going to do the same thing so now we have tenths and hundredths. So for this example, our answer is 13 and 2 hundredths. So we're going to look at a couple examples of how to solve these problems for our homework tonight. Again, this is just multiplying numbers that are in the tenths times tenths place value. So here we have 0 and 4 tenths times 1 and 5 tenths. So we're going to set this problem up to multiply. So we have 0 and 4 tenths times 1 and 5 tenths. So like we saw before, the first thing we always want to do is multiply normally, starting with the tenths place value. So we look over here. We see the 4 and the 5 are in the tenths place value. 4 times 5 is 20. Write the 0, carry the 2. 0 times 5 is 0, because anything times 0 is always 0. Plus that 2 is going to be 2. We've got our first partial product. We're always going to add that placeholder. We're going to multiply by the 1 now. 1 times 4 is 4. 1 times 0 is 0. We're going to add our partial product. 0 plus 0 is 0. 2 plus 4 is 6. 0 plus nothing is 0. We're going to go back and add in that placeholder, or that decimal place. It's 1 place value, 2 place values over. We've got 1, 2 place values over. So our final answer is 0.6, which is equal to 6 tenths or 60 hundredths. You can write it either way. Here we have 6 tenths right here on the bottom, and above it is 60 hundredths. It's the exact same number. You can just represent it differently. The most important thing is that we get that decimal place value over the correct amount of spaces. All right, let's look at another problem. Here we're going to multiply 4 and 9 tenths times 5 and 7 tenths. So same formula. We're going to set it up. 4 and 9 tenths multiplied by 5 and 7 tenths. We're going to start and multiply normally. Starting in the smallest place value, here we have a 9 and a 7 in the tenths place value. 9 times 7 we know is 63. Write the 3, carry the 6. 4 times 7 is 28. Plus 6 is 34. Write our 34. Now we multiply by 7. We're going to add that 0 placeholder. Always, always, always with whole numbers and decimals, we want to add that 0 placeholder. All right, we multiply by that 7. Now we're going to go into the 5, which is in the ones place value. 5 times 9 is 45. Write the 5, carry the 4. 4 times 5 is 20, plus 4 is 24. We're going to add our partial products. 3 plus 0 is 3. 4 plus 5 is 9. 3 plus 4 is 7. Nothing plus 2 is 2. Then our last step, always have to remember this. To get the correct answer, we're going to check and add our decimal point. We've got 1 place value over, 2 place values over, 1, 2 place values over. So our final answer is 27 and 93 hundredths. Remember to say a decimal point or decimal place value. To say that number, you're going to say the whole number. So we've got 93 and then the place value of the smallest number. So here we have the 9 is in the tenths. 3's in the hundredths, so together this is 93 hundredths. 27 and 93 hundredths. Let's look at a third example. Here our problem is multiply 12 and 3/10 times 6 and 4/10. Same exact way, we're going to write the larger number on top always. 12 and 3/10 multiplied by 6 and 4/10. Notice my decimal points are always lined up. We're going to multiply normally. Starting with our 10th place value, we've got a 3 and the 4 in the 10th place value. 3 times 4 is 12. Write the 2, carry the 1. 2 times 4 is 8, plus 1 is 9. 1 times 4 is 4. Perfect, we've multiplied by that 4. Now, what are we going to do? Right here, we're going to add our 0 placeholder. Then we're going to multiply 6 times 3 is 18. Write the 8, the ones that are there, carry the 1. 2 times 6 is 12. Plus 1 is 13. Write the 3, carry the 1. 1 times 6 is 6. Plus 1 is 7. We're going to add our partial products. Starting over here, we've got 2 plus 0 is 2. 9 plus 8 is 17. Write the 7, carry the 1. 4 plus 3 is 7. Plus 1 is 8. Nothing plus 7 is 7. All right, to get our final answer, we're going to look back. Add our decimal place value. We've got 1 place value over 2 place values over. So we're going to move it over 2 place values. So our final answer is 78 and 72 hundredths. 72 hundredths. All right. For homework, here's your first homework problem. I'm going to just write that up here to remind you. Homework problem number 1 is to multiply 41 and 6/10 times 7 and 3/10. Here's our second homework problem. You're going to multiply using the same method we were just working on. Multiply 9 and 3/10 times 14 and 6/10. Perfect. And for this problem, I want you also to write the final answer, write your product, which is the final answer to multiplication, in word form as well as expanded form. And I'll be checking that tomorrow to get full credit. I want you to make sure you write word form and expanded form. And make sure, guys, I always am going to check for this, write your summary, comments, and any questions you have about the video. Remember, you have to write all these things to get full credit. All right, good luck, and we will see you tomorrow.